In this week's ThatSoCalledJazzy video, I wanted to try something different from my other videos and put a more subtle, more serious tone to this one. I've noticed that people have become sort of obsessed with this vampire theme with True Blood and the new Twilight coming out. I wanted to sit down and talk with a real vampire, so I brought one here to talk with. His name is Vladimir Fishtakdes, Lord of the Vaxnees. No.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the production. I first want to start off just by saying that there are lots of myths in popular fiction concerning vampires, and I wanted to try and hopefully dispel those myths.
Oh yes, I would love to hear, and our viewers would love to hear the disclaimers of the myths.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for one, the crucifix thing is completely a lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's totally a lie. We don't have problems with it, and there are a lot of non-Christian vampires out there. And frankly, nobody's really bothered by crucifixes. I have no preference for crucifixes, personally. But it's a lie that we get burned, and then we go into a church and we light on fire,
Right.
that whole, hell and damnation thing. So
Right.
that's all a myth.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the sun? Can you look at
Oh
the
yeah,
sun?
yeah, we can walk to the sun.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another one of those things where the media kind of distorts, turns around,
Oh.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. There's usually no problem. Well, we do get burned
Really?
if we don't put on sunscreen, and if we're at the beach, for instance, and we're lying in the sun, tanning.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen. I mean, it's possible. So it's not a complete lie, I guess. It's not a lie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you just get really bad sunburn.
Yeah, sunburn. That's the word.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what about coffins? Coffins?
Coffins is another one. We don't actually sleep in coffins. Most of us prefer the comfort of bed, like everyone else.
Mm.
So, yeah, no coffins that I know of that the vampires actually sleep in. So that's another one of those things, those little myths. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
The media can do.
Yeah, it's it's pretty far-fetched, but yeah, I mean, there's things that are true. There are definitely things that are true. For one, the stake through the heart. Definitely can do that. Definitely kills a vampire. It's a scary thought to think that we're so we're so powerful, but we're so fragile in that sense, that something as simple as pounding a piece of sharp wood straight through our heart can kill us so easily. Actually, it doesn't have to be wood. It could be anything, really. Just through the heart. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything that destroys the heart.
Yeah, or, it could not quite be the heart, but if it gets infected, it could cause problems, and then, then that would kill us too. Infection kills us. Disease, famine, cancer kills us too. These are very devastating things, but they're few.
Yes.
Few things.
That is...
Old age too. We do get old. That's another one of those. Gotta mention, we do age, not like in Twilight. If I'm not mistaken, they don't age in that, right?
No.
Yeah. No, and I know the Anne Rice series, they don't age.
No.
Yeah, we do. Don't know where they got that one from. Really don't. It's bizarre, really, how these things get started. But
So you're not immortal.
well, we are. We are definitely no. That's very true. Yeah, let me clarify some things. There are very true things about being a vampire. One, we are immortal until we die. That is true.
Oh.
That's absolutely a fact.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
So then, do you drink blood?
Well, the blood thing. It's okay. This is how we feel about blood. Blood is a little, a little kind of gruesome, and the modern day vampire doesn't really, respond to those types of things. So we definitely we devour. We're vicious and mortal creatures, definitely. We do prefer instead of humans to eat birds, for instance, and animals. We devour those animals.
Oh.
Just brutal acts of violence into them. But for the purposes of getting rid of the blood and everything, really everything but the meat, we prefer to have it done professionally and then cook it, because you don't know what's in that meat. We're immortal, but we're still susceptible to lots of things like uncooked meat, salmonella, tapeworms, all that stuff. So we cook it. Yeah, we cook it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I know that some vampires prefer not to eat like animals.
That's another true thing. Those are called vegetarian vampires. That's something the viewers should note, that there are vegetarian vampires out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're few, but they basically suck the juices out of carrots and greens and eats nuts and tofu for protein and those types of things. But they get vicious with those too. I mean,
vicious.
Yeah, gobbling them down with no remorse at all. I mean, that's another thing about vampires. They've got absolutely no regrets, unless they did something wrong in the past.
Oh.
But yeah, that's very true about the vegetarians.
Seems terrible being a vampire.
Yeah. Well, it's got its upsides. It's good. Definitely has its upsides. People are very curious about vampires nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
We were dark, mysterious creatures that is very alluring, especially for getting a date. Although sometimes, most of the times it puts people off a lot when you claim you're a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. It's been great.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Minnie.
That's all we have time for, so tune in next time. Grr. Arg.